Welcome everybody to Encounters, and this is our Tuesday night show, Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. It is now about 10:59 in the evening. Nick, welcome to the show. Everybody coming into house, all the people out there, Marlene. So tonight's show, we're going to be talking about what you think the new Earth is like. You know, after we have contact, after we have the space people that are in the oceans, the space people that are coming from other planets. What do you think? Excuse me. Thank you for the heart. Thank you so much. So we want to find out tonight what you feel, what the new Earth is going to be like. So I put this image up here. So I put this image here to give you an idea, just like an idea of what is our new Earth going to look like versus what our Earth is like now. Because we have to talk about it on this UFO program about the spiritual context of the new Earth. It really does. It looks amazing. And then you see the beauty of the universe. And really, isn't that what it's supposed to be? It's a beautiful, hey, happy Tuesday to you, Ozzy. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Dude, Lucas, everybody coming in here. So we're going to bring people up, and we're going to collectively talk about what the new Earth is going to look like after contact. You know, I think it's a good thing to do. I think it's something important to ponder, because we are getting closer and closer, and it seems like time is moving faster and faster. I mean, we're on Earth time. We're almost into the month of May. Hard to believe. You know, we're in spring, almost into the month of May already. So what's your perception of reality? And everybody has different perceptions and visions of a new Earth. I'm sure everybody here around the world does. So on Encounters tonight, we're going to tackle that question. Rainbow Boom, good to see you. Thank you for the share. Good to see you, Rainbow. And everybody out here. Leslie, good evening. Paula. So the commander wants to get into this. I think it's an important Cleo. Thank you for the club cheers. Harvey, thank you for the heart me. We appreciate it so much, all the gifts. Thank you. Thank you, Rainbow. And you are too. Marlene says, I got a post from Galactic Federation that contact is starting to visit us and heal us. Interesting, Marlene. Good evening, Enlightened Jess. So what does that mean? Hey, Hetty, good to see you. You know, what does that mean? Young Skywalker, good to see you, brother. What is the new Earth to you? And I do have apple cider, Sue. Matter of fact, I have apple cider here right behind me. I should probably put it in a place where I won't have it knocked down onto the carpet here. That would not be good. So I'll put it down here. And I think we're safe. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Rita Lynn, good evening. Kane Vet, good to see you, brother. Rogue, everybody. I think it's Tonia, Peggy Spring. So if you're coming into this room, you're saying, wow, this is different on TikTok. Well, that's because if you're new to my show, I've been doing this for 3 years. We get into all the spiritual aspects of ufology, and that means the space people, everything. Telly, thank you for the heart me. So we're not a nuts and bolts kind of show. We never have been. So what is it? You know, as we get into this reality, and as we focus on imagings in our consciousness, the visuals of a new Earth, I know everybody has beautiful visions. Loretta, thank you for the team bracelet. And the heart me, thank you so much. No more bad weather, no more crime. I'll go with that too. Janine Harper says, I think it'll be greener, a larger, flatter home with a common garden area, beautiful animals. Absolutely. It'll be what you wish it to be, right? The new Earth is going to be, your home is going to be created in a way different way than the way homes are created now. Buildings the way they are now. Everything we have now will be completely different. And because we're so used to this reality of this Earth, we don't know anything else. We know that if you take the automobile, that was, you know, a little car in the 1930s or 20s, and look where the cars have gone from the 1920s and 30s to now. Everything has changed. Everything is continually changing. So Rainbow Boom, that's a good question. And we're going to bring people up, and I want to get everybody's I'm probably going to interview a lot of people here. If you have enough followers to go on live with me on audio or video, we're going to have people share their visions of a new Earth. That's what we do here. Hey, Bonnie, that's what I like to do. I like to collectively have people involved. No one should be having to sit on the side. Well, they can if they want to, but. And I've been thinking a lot of this about this new Earth. And, when you look around at all the crazy things that are happening in the world, you say, well, how can we get there? How do we get to this new Earth? How do we get there with all the sightings happening and all the galactic things that are happening and increasing around our planet and in our oceans? How do we get to this new Earth? So I know a lot of people think the new Earth is another place. A lot of people over the years I've been to in the New Age community used to think that we're going to be taken to a different planet, that the Earth that we're going to is going to be different than this Earth. But the fact of the matter is that this is the Earth that's going to be renewed and be the new and renewed Earth. So we're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to be running away from Earth. We're going to be transforming the Earth. We're going to be changing the Earth. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the way we've always thought it to be or projected, for years. For years, there are many people, and this is just their perception of reality, that the new Earth, thank you, the new Earth is something that we have to get to, we have to go to, we have to get there, but we have to get there from here. The reality is, thank you, April. The reality is the new Earth is going to be right here. We are creating it. Little by little, we are creating the new Earth. When we have contact, when we have the real contact, our space brothers and sisters will help us in transforming our planet and healing the Earth. So what part of the whole thing is that the space people, the good ones, and there are many of them, that will come here, and we're not going to be like sitting by and watching them create a new Earth. We're going to be participating with them in creating a new Earth. There are people for years in the New Age community that think, well, the space people are going to come and save us. They're going to do everything for us. They're going to feed spoon us. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. We're going to be equal partners with the space people in creating a new planet, in creating a new reality. We're the ones living here. They live here too in our oceans. They live with us. They're going to come forward. They're going to come out of the oceans. They're going to come out of the Earth into the surface world. And when that happens, people that always thought everyone was in space, all the space people are out there somewhere, they're going to realize that the space people are everywhere. They're walking right now among us. There are people in every part of the world in different languages that are from space. They actually came off ships. They look just like us. They can wear clothing just like us, fit in just like us. But when you meet them, you'll know it's different. When you meet one, you'll know that person's different. Their energy is different. What they look like is they'll look human, but they're more than just human. There'll be a radiant energy about them. And I'm sure many of you out there in your lives have passed one of those space people on the street, in a small village, in a city, in a town. You have actually seen that. You've actually met them. Never talking to them, just going by them. Maybe in a restaurant, maybe in a market, in a library. You've met them, you see. So there's a lot to ponder here. Yes, Michelle, we're actually in exciting times. So Infinity, I'm going to bring you up and answer your question. I love questions. And good evening, Infinity. We're going to bring Infinity up. Kit Kat's here. So I'm going to have an interactive audience here. We're going to do, and I always like to bring people up. I don't like to talk all night by myself and chatter. This is why the show is as good as it is. So in terms of Infinity, what you're saying on your question, the new Earth is going to be unlike this Earth. So for example, we have factories, we have nuclear power plants, we have pollution, we have things that are a mess in different, all over the world. There's pockets of it. That's all going to shift. Plastic in our oceans floating around in the Pacific. Just for example, these are little examples. When we have the new Earth, we are going to participate with the space people, because they're not going to just let us sit around and watch TV all day long. It's not happening. You're not going to be watching the football game or the hockey game or the baseball game, you're going to be actively helping make this earth a new earth. We're all participants. We're all part of this earth. We all have to take responsibility for this planet. This planet's going to be way different than what it looks like now. This planet is really a beautiful planet when you think of the mountains and the oceans and the rivers and the lakes and the wildlife. There's a lot of beauty here that we don't see. But just imagine a planet that is all beautiful, the whole planet. The cities will be different. The cities will be clean. There won't be garbage all over the streets and the rivers and going into the cities. It's going to be different. The reality is going to be different. The way we live is going to be different. You see? Yeah, there's a lot of junk on TV Enlightened. Good. You canceled your cable years ago? Good. And yes, that's right. For entertainment purposes, it's frozen. So hopefully we're not lagging or freezing. It's funny how that'll happen when I'm really talking about... It's funny how that happens when I'm talking the truth. TikTok has me lagging, freezing. It's better now. Okay, hopefully, let me use my cosmic power. Good, no lagging right now. I want the Astro Command to make sure I don't lag on my program here. Good. I think that my cosmic family cleaned that up. There you go. Well, as long as I'm not lagging anymore, that's good. Yeah, no chemtrails. Yep. All this stuff is going to shift. And sometimes it's hard to believe that we live on a planet that has all these things going on. And we say to ourselves, how are we ever going to change this? How are we ever going to, shift this thing? We aren't. We're going to do it. Because we have the collective ability to do it. We're waking up to a new reality. Every one of you here is waking up. On some level, you're waking up to your cosmic reality. Right? I don't think there's one person here that is not waking up. Well, how do we contact the moon? You're not really contacting the moon. I think it's clunkinator. You're not contacting the moon. The moon is an artificial structure. The moon is an intergalactic space station that was brought there millions upon millions upon millions long, long time ago. And it's an intergalactic space station, just to let you know. So you're not contacting the moon. The moon is just a structure. When we have contact, it won't be with a thing like the moon. We're going to be having contact with space people, star people, light beings. And they're all part of a large grouping of people, many of which live in our city, in our ocean cities that are advanced inner Earth. You're going to see a lot of things happening that are going to kind of blow people's minds. And they will. Thank you for the Jersey. Thank you for that, Molly. Thank you. Thank you, Jersey. So just remember, we're not... Thank you, Misty Phillips. Enlightened, thank you. Yes, the moon is actually an intergalactic space station. It's an artificial structure, and the craters that you see on the moon are like that. It was purposely made like that to make it look like it was actually a real moon, but actually it's an intergalactic space station. Pam says, I'm not feeling well. Is that a part of change? Let me bring you up, Pam. I'm following Pam. I'm going to bring Pam up. Come on up, Pam. So if you're going through symptoms of not feeling too good and then feeling good, it could be two things. It could be related to the earth changes. A lot of it is. And a lot of it is just staying focused, taking care of your body, drinking things like tea or things that you make you feel good, meditation, talking to your higher self to help you. There's going to be a lot of days when people go through really weird feelings and things, and that's because the earth is shifting. When contact happens, there will not be any crime. And if there are people that are interested in still pursuing that karma, they'll be taken to another planet. They will not be on the new earth. If there are people that are essentially still stuck in a specific frequency, they'll be taken to another planet to work out their karma. Ascension symptoms, yes. Yes, all those creatures that we've known as children, many of them do exist. We know that not only creatures, but the people, the fairies, the mer people, they're real. They're real. They're here now. You know, we're going to see a lot of things we've never seen before. And some individuals out there in the world are seeing these mythical, what you call mythical beings or creatures. But we know for sure the mer people have been here for a long time. The fairies have been here for a long time on our planet. The Sasquatch or the Bigfoot, as we call them, that's what we call them. They're actually very highly advanced beings of light that live on our planet, and they can speak many languages. So now, would we have known this 30, 40, or 50 years ago about this? No, the only reason we know this now is because we're here on TikTok. We have social media, we have different platforms, and we can broadcast and have a show and talk about this, right? We couldn't do this 34 years ago. There wasn't any social media like this to go on. We would be watching a couple of cable channels and maybe the local network. But now we're here, I'm here to bust the matrix about what's happening, to answer your questions about the new earth, because I do know about it. I didn't have to read any websites to learn about the new earth. I don't have to go reading a book about the new earth because I understand what it is. I come from that consciousness, of what we're going to be involved with as a society, as a people. And we're going to be in a society that's going to be way different than we are right now. Rainbow says, so are we also meeting the mythical? I answered that question. Pam says, the pollen is the highest in history. Let's see. I have seen a fairy, Hope, in a box. We're going to bring you up here. And let's do that. I'm going to follow Hope. It's good to meet you, Hope. And I know you've been in here before. You've been on my live. So if these are a part of the new, they're already here. They've been here before the New Earth ever existed. But hey,
Yeah,
Hope,
for sure. Hello.
I love the fairies as well. As I learned about I knew about them for many years, but I never had a chance to, on my show here, talk about it until earlier on in the last few years. But the fairies are beautiful. They've been here. They're coming out of hiding because they know the Earth is going through a shift, right?
For sure, for sure. Let me turn my TV down, guys. Sorry. I wasn't expecting to pull me up. So it was I live like an hour away from base. So if I go outside enough, I see a lot, My wife and I were driving home one night and we were driving, it was dark. We drive in the back way home because we always just come the back roads. I live in the country, on like 700
Yeah.
acres. Love
Oh,
it out
good.
here. It's amazing. I love it. We were driving and I seen it was darker. It was a darker fairy. I would say it was darker. The energy was a little bit darker. It wasn't, but it was like it was hurt. It came from somewhere. It was
Oh, yeah.
hurt. It was injured. It wasn't like it was itself.
Yeah.
So we just looked at each other and it almost flew in the window. And I got
Oh,
scared and I
wow.
shut the window really fast because I was like, nope, it was just reflex, I didn't think about it.
Right, right.
So then I was like, okay. So that was like the first time, and then I was like, not the first time I've seen things. I've seen
Right.
other things as well, throughout time and stuff like that. And then I've been seeing, like I've been seeing all the orbs out here. I
Yeah.
haven't quite been able to get video of them because they're so quick. They're moving.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
there's this one spot out here and it's like you'll see it and it'll get brighter and then it's boop, gone.
It's gone.
And then
Yeah.
you'll see another one and it'll come and it'll be like bright and it'll go boop,
Yeah.
gone. And then one night it was super bright and there was no way you could catch it on video. But I
Oh,
can tell you I
wow.
witnessed it. My wife and I, we go out there on purpose.
Yeah.
So we were like, this big one just says whoop, it just got really bright and then it's
Oh,
gone.
wow.
And then I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So you have a lot of activity going on now. You have 700 acres, I can imagine. How much of it is a big field? Do you have a lot of open space?
So no, so it's like a family of four. So you've got like all of us like lined up right here,
Oh,
and you've
okay.
got like you got a family over here.
Oh, all right.
The grandparents, they mostly own all of the land, and then we
Oh
all live
wow.
out here.
Oh
And so
good.
there's cattle,
Oh
there's
wow.
the creek, we got our dogs, you know what I'm saying? Like it's,
Yeah.
good family
Eh,
little unit and all that out here. And at night it's just different, and you can see
Yeah.
the stars really, really well out here.
Oh wow. Now where's
So
out here? Are you in Texas?
so I'm in Oklahoma. So I'm in a little
Oklahoma.
town what they call Rush Springs, Oklahoma.
Oh wow,
So
beautiful.
yeah, it's a little town, and we have like a little watermelon festival out here. Like it's a whole thing out here. So it's pretty cool.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I get the feeling as I read your energy that you're in a place where there'll be there'll be contact everywhere. But as we talk about the
Yes.
North, I use this image just for an image to see the difference between structures on our planet now and how this particular beautiful structure on this picture looks. And when you look at it,
It's
you
just
can see it's filled
amazing.
with
It's
light
so
and yeah,
it's full of light and energy. Like it feels really like neutral. Like it's not like a bad feeling. So
right,
and then the
right.
other day I was driving home from work, and there was this little bubble, and I just see it just float by, and it's the only bubble, and I'm like, okay, well there's some kids around here somewhere blowing bubbles.
Right.
And so I'm looking around, I'm looking, no kids, no people, no nothing. I was like, did I really see that? And then I second guess myself sometimes because I'm like, no, I didn't
Yeah,
see that.
yeah.
And it was like coming like from where I work, and then that's more like Lawton area. So like I work in Lawton, so I hear the big booms all the time. Our house, we hear it out here every time
Oh
they
wow.
blow anything out there. Because it's military, it's Fort Sill, so it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all
That's
it's just
interesting. So you
whatever.
have the military base there, and then we're talking about the New Earth and the ferries and all this stuff
Um,
that, and so out in the country, it would make sense that a lot of these things like the ferries and even the Sasquatch would probably be out in Oklahoma in the woods too. And I think also I get the feeling that even though you're near a military base, but you're in the country, the galactic beings of light probably could come across, and I think they probably have come across your.
I definitely feel like they have.
Yeah, I think
And
so. I
I
think
and
they
I
have too.
definitely, yeah, and I feel that. So my wife is very, 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 very spiritual. I wish she was here right now, but unfortunately she's not with us in the moment, but she'll be home
Okay.
tomorrow. So just keep lifting her up, good vibes and healing, and just
Yeah,
keep pushing
absolutely.
that, because that's just all
Absolutely.
we need right now. But I feel like we're kind of under attack in a sense. But it's because she's vibrating at a higher level and things are happening. So
Well, this is the time too, because people
yes,
are
and
vibrating at that
yes,
higher
and you
level.
keep talking about the new earth, and like she was like, listen, she's like, I don't know how to tell you this, she said, but I'm gonna need you to start really healing and growing a little bit quicker. She said, because I'm vibrating at a higher level than you, and I don't want you stuck here.
Right. Well, you won't be stuck. It's just that
Right.
she's concerned about you being at that level, but you
Mhm.
also have a beautiful energy, so you
Oh,
won't have
thank
any
you.
problem. I
Hmm.
read energy on my show. If you watch my show enough,
Hmm.
being a space person in my human form, I've gotten very comfortable now of being out of the closet over a long time, and comfortable saying that I am this person, and
Hmm.
now I feel comfortable when I bring people on, and that you're waking up, you come into a higher frequency.
Yeah,
I
it's
have no
so
problem saying I'm from
wild.
Mars, and I talk about my planet. Now you wouldn't have caught me
I
doing
love
that
that.
40 years ago, but I came out of the
No,
closet.
no. No, like I wouldn't have been talking about half of the things that I'm talking about now. I'll tell you what happened to me when I was a child, since I'm here.
Yeah.
So, my mom watched a lot of X Files when I was growing up. So, I grew up watching a show, but I believed in a lot of the things I would see. I was like, there's this stuff is really, it feels real.
Mm-hmm.
And I would feel scared, and see, like, I'm kind of shaky now just talking about it. I would be scared, and I'd be scared of these gray beings. Okay, I know they're dark. I know they're not good. So I would feel this energy all the time as a child, and I would experience things that I can't explain to you. I was sick as a kid, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
now, but I was sick then.
Oh
I lived
wow.
in California at the time. So I was taken. That's all I can tell you. I remember being in
Really?
my bed. I remember leaving, and I remember being in a place that didn't look familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember them talking, but they were not talking like we are. And
Yeah.
I could remember them doing like this special like things with their hands, like they were talking with their hands and they were talking with their mouths.
Hmm.
But the things that were coming out were like different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I could feel the energy, and it was like they were like, she's too awake. We got to really, either take her back or we got to put her a little bit under more. I fell back asleep. I don't know what happened, and I woke up the next morning in my bed. So
Hmm.
uh, after that, I ended up experiencing illness, unexplained illness. I dropped dead for a few minutes. My heart just
Mm-hmm.
stopped out of nowhere. They couldn't figure out why. They put heart monitors on me. Nothing was wrong. They did allergy tests on me. They had me running on a treadmill doing stress tests as a child. Um, I don't know. That was an experience. Now, fast forwarding, I see light.
Hmm.
So
So something happened. You went through some sort of a spiritual transformation, and
something.
something transformed in your molecular structure of your body,
Yep.
and whatever happened to you then was cleared out somehow.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I'll tell you, unfortunately, we all experience different things in life, and I won't have to say too much because I know how
No,
TikTok
we
is.
don't.
They censor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm recovering. I've got 4 years clean. So
Good.
yes, I'm so super stoked about that. Um, I was in the streets really heavy and I was using very, very heavy, and I met a
You want
lot
to
of
be
people
careful.
and I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah. So we'll move past
And
that,
I would
but
say on a spiritual level,
yeah,
dark, light, mostly dark because of what I was
yeah.
doing. And I can't explain it to you. It's
It's just
unreal, but
good to see. Well, let's put it this way: it's good to see that you went through that without getting us or the show in trouble with saying, because we know how TikTok is.
hmm
But
hmm
just to keep it so you can share your story. But the fact that now you see fairies, now the fairy that was saying
hmm
kind of dark, just like a human being could be going through some issues, you know?
yeah, it was like probably this big.
Yeah.
It was a good size, and I mean, I was like, no, and then I, second guess myself when I see these things because I'm like, no, did I see that?
Mm.
But no, it's real, and I feel the energy, and I sense things.
Yeah. See,
Um, yeah, and it's
your
it's
body,
just amazing.
and your body is your temple. As I always tell people, we think about things externally where we go to a physical place to get that peace, but really our physical body is our temple. When we go into the new earth,
hmm
and we meet our space brothers and sisters that have come from the oceans and from the stars beyond, their body is their temple. Their connection to the one creator is the way all the beings of light live. They live in they live in harmony with the universe. They live in harmony with the creator. We on earth don't do that because we have separated our planet from the creator, essentially. And it's not going to,
Yes,
in the new earth,
I.
there won't be any churches or mosques or
Mm-mm.
temples. We're not here to worship idols. We're here to be
No, there's a
one with our brothers and
purpose.
sisters, you know?
People that are awakening have realized that they were here before, and they've been
Mm-hmm.
here for years and years and years and years and years and years. I many years. I can
Yeah.
only go as far as back as Cleopatra myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's as far past life I can see. But the more
Yeah.
awake I come, then I see more. So
Jackie Hillman's saying, how do they sense human energy? Jackie, we'll bring you up in a few minutes and we'll have a conversation with you, Jackie. We'd love to do that. That's what we do here. We like to bring people in. But I think that the perception and you're our first guest, so I know you're excited about the potential of what our planet's going to be like. As I
for
said
sure,
earlier,
I'm
what,
so like it's like hurry up and wait kind of thing. But
right,
it's happening pretty rapidly.
it
Honestly,
is.
I would say that okay, May's like right around the corner, and
Yeah.
I just remember December, so that's fast.
And also, as we go into May and onward, people, keep your eyes to the skies. If you're near a beach in the Pacific or if you live in the Indian Ocean or something, take time to watch the ocean. Take time to have your cameras. You'll be seeing things coming out of the ocean that are not fish. You're going to
Right,
see things that are coming out of the
walk.
ocean that are from
They
the
will
depths
walk.
of our ocean. Yes. And I'm
Yes, they
talking
walk.
about they walk. The space people are coming to the surface. They're getting
Yes.
ready. They
I
know
believe
what's
in
happening.
mermaids.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It is.
Well, I
And I
want
love it. And then
to,
people,
yeah,
the people who don't pay attention will be scared because they don't know what's going on because they have no idea. They're into
yeah,
politics or TV or whatever they're doing,
right,
They're not
right.
doing any meditation, they're not doing any healing, they're not focused on what the bigger picture is.
Yeah,
And I hope that they, they come to the same level as we all are,
yeah. It's really
and
important. It's really
mhm.
important. And the fact is, one of the things that everyone here is a part of is what's going to happen to the planet. Every one of you, all the new people jumping in here from TikTok, this is Encounters. This is a show that's been on for 3 years. And I'm the host, Commander Leon. And we're talking about the New Earth tonight because we talk about the UFO subject and we talk about the space beings and we talk about the Antarctica and we talk about these things, the pyramids and all these things
Yeah.
because they're all part of our galactic history. We live on a
Well, and it's
planet.
melting so fast that
Oh my
Antarctica
gosh.
is. And I'm like, are you serious? At a rapid pace. Our sun is not the same.
Yeah, it's not. No, nothing. And the other thing is, if we look at the ancient things like the pyramids and all these things, the structures in Giza below the pyramids, there's advanced technology and structures that for years nobody ever thought of. We're thinking of the pyramids are a beacon, a transmitter, which they are on
At
our
least.
planet. They are. They're an intergalactic transmitter
Hmm.
that had crystals on top of them
The
that were
skulls.
taken off. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they're
the crystals
missing.
were
Hmm.
a transmitter beacon. And
It's so
below
cool.
the pyramids now, scientists are finding these structures that are advanced under the pyramids in Giza, and also other things that are there, including space bodies that are alive in stasis. They're asleep right now.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, yep, there's a lot going on. They've been here for millions upon millions upon millions of years, everybody. So what's really happening
Yeah,
now
and
is,
see, right. And then
yeah,
when they open up the pyramids and stuff and they go into the tombs and everything, I believe that there's more.
yeah,
There's
there's a
more,
lot
like you're
more,
saying. Yeah, there is.
you
And
know,
and and that's what I say, when they open these things, they don't the rituals that they perform to close those things were meant
yeah,
to be closed, and then they
yeah,
open them, so there's things and
yeah,
repercussions of that. So, I believe in that, and that's why I believe in the new earth, and I believe in the tools and the things that they left for us. The
right,
technology's been here,
right. And those
and I
and
think
all
it's
the things, the ancient stuff that we're finding. When I met the people at Ancient Aliens, Giorgio, the not last weekend, the weekend before that, the Friday before that, they've been studying, they've been exploring all these ancient structures, and what they're showing us is that the space people left these structures here for us to find, to remember who we are. Then
right.
and also, and many of these structures are still very active. Some of them they kept active for a purpose, for a reason, but they
Yes.
want us to remember who we are. Like the pyramids are not. We live in a society of buildings, but when you think about it, if you go to Egypt to the pyramids, or South America, or you go to Mexico,
Mm,
all these pyramid structures were designed and put here on purpose by the space people. They
right.
were here for millions upon millions of years, these
Right.
structures.
Right. And there were so many, and they were all different, and nobody was the same. And now, like, in the flesh, everyone is the same, but
Yeah,
then it was so different. And
yeah,
that's what I'm so excited for, is to go back to that.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
people are going
Yeah,
to be nervous, scared, but you know what? Though it's just going to be taken adapting and, accepting, and really accepting where we're at.
hmm hmm
And I really feel like that we are all ascending, and, a little, some faster, some, we're all at different paces, but we're all going to
right.
be in the same place. And it's beautiful because I've seen what happens before the new earth. So, and I seen that as a child, like the destruction of what happens, but I seen what comes after. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, okay.
And
So,
right. And
each
we
is.
can we
Mhm.
can also know, hope, that we're not going to be living in a world where our planet's being destroyed. That was stopped a long time
No.
ago. The Ashtar
Hmm.
Command actually stopped the nuclear bombs, and when I was growing up as a kid, they actually neutralized every single nuclear weapon on the planet during the Cold War. That's why we're still
See,
here.
Okay, and then why is it like why are things being activated again?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that part. That's where I'm at. And I'm like, I don't it's wild. I can't really
Yeah.
say much about that cuz I'm not allowed to, but it's just wild.
Yeah, you have an inner knowing,
Yeah.
and everyone gets, and those that are getting an inner knowing from their space family telepathically, and they might say, "Okay, don't say anything yet. We want you to wait,"
Right.
and that's perfectly fine. If the space person you're connected with says, "Hold on to this information until we're ready," there's a
Well,
reason
and
for
they
that.
keep telling me that I'm going to get a download, but I'm not ready yet.
Right.
So
That's
they're
right.
saying that I'm getting prepared for that. That's the message I keep getting.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. Prepared,
yeah,
and
so I'm
prepared
just,
it's a good word, right? Because when they're saying
yes.
because they care about you, if you're in contact with them, they'll know when it's time because they don't operate in time, but they'll know when to give you that information. You already know that, so
Right,
yeah,
right. And that's I believe in that. And so and then I'm spiritually like I'm trying to get my belief back, my belief system, and like I kind of let go of that because I was just going through so much in life, and I was like, you know what, I don't know. I just kind of challenged some things, and then I started seeing things again, and I was like, you know what? I didn't just get these gifts for no reason. And I do have a
mm,
purpose, and
yeah,
my purpose is not done yet, and that is to, I want to travel around the world. Like this is not the United States is not it for me. Like this is not my stopping point. So there's more
yeah,
things for me to see, and there's more places for me to go. And I feel
yeah,
like there's going to be love and light everywhere I go and with my wife and my family. And I feel like that it's going to be very, very, very high and ascending. I feel it's going to be
yeah.
really,
Oh, will be. There's so many beautiful things. I had a person, one of my customers, saying they're going to go to Egypt, and I said, after I got done helping him, very, very nice. He said, I said, you got to take me with you. I was kind of joking. He said, going to go see the pyramids. I said, that's where I want to go, and I
me
know
as
that's where I
well.
want to go. Yeah, the
So
pyramids.
I had met my fitness coach while I was in rehabilitation. He and him and his spouse had went to Egypt, and he said, you know what? He said, I'll tell you what. He said it was the most beautifulest place I've ever been. And he said, my respect level went from where I'm at as a person to different. He said, because they didn't have streets, they have dirt. And he said,
Hmm.
and your respect level changes, and you as a person changes, and your respect becomes 10 times even more. And he said, and the people out there are just so amazing and beautiful. He said,
Yeah,
they were so
yeah.
kind, so welcoming, and we learned their culture and what they were doing. And he said it was just a really great experience. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Well, Hope, I want to thank you for being my first
of
guest
course,
here. You've been a blessing. I did it randomly. I pick people. Now you know I do that. I like to be spontaneous,
for
and
sure.
I'll hopefully get to speak to your wife and hear her perspective on the
For
new Earth
sure.
sometime.
Yeah,
Everybody,
for sure.
Hope, thank you so much. You've been a blessing.
Thanks. Thank you
I'm the
guys.
country in Oklahoma, Sarah. We're going to bring you
Yep.
down very, very
I'll
gently on
get
the
you some
ship here.
video. I'll try to get you some videos and I'll send them to you.
Oh, good. I'll
Yeah.
definitely look at them for sure.
All right.
All right,
Perfect.
I'll bring Hope down. This is Encounters. We're talking about the new Earth tonight. We're talking about something really important because the topic does exist. It exists in the UFO community about the new Earth. Some people that are more traditional will just talk about nuts and bolt things. I don't do that here. If you're new to the show, welcome to Encounters. I'm the host of the show. I've been on radio for over 22 years and on NPR, Pacifica Radio to be more exact. I've done radio, I've done TV on Long Island Cable and here in Connecticut. A long time ago, I did the Intergalactic TV Network, which was something I did. You did very well there, Hope. Thank you. And I want to show you the background. I chose this background just to give you like an idea of what the new Earth would be like. Like this would be like a very advanced city and mountains around it, and this would be some of the structures of the new Earth. Very different than what we're used to, because the structures we have now are your brick and mortar things and the traditional whatever structures. So there is a lot going on. Welcome if you're coming in here. I want to live there now. And Infinity, we're going to get there too. I know what the Watchers are. I'm very familiar with the Watchers, yes. Leo, good evening, Leo. Welcome. And everybody coming in here. You know, when you were a kid, remember the Jetsons? Somebody mentioned it on here. Who it was something. Yeah, Pixel. It said the Jetsons, and how they lived in there was a cartoon idea of an advanced grouping of people back in the 60s that made this thing called the Jetsons. I remember watching it. Dawn has a question. Dawn, we're going to bring Dawn up. Dawn, I'm going to bring you up on the show, as I did hope. I'm being very random. You'll see that I'm a very random person. I like to do things spontaneously. So come on up. Don't be shy. This is the way I love to do it here.
Hello.
Hey, good evening. Hey, Dawn, how are you?
I'm good.
It's a pleasure
How are
to
you
meet you.
doing?
Good. Can I bring you on the camera?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, we'll do that. And you just have to press the save button and you'll be on the screen.
Well,
All right, there. Nice to meet you. Welcome. And where are you located on the planet?
I'm in Vermont.
Vermont. I used to live
Northern
in
Vermont.
I used to live in Plainfield.
I swear you look familiar, like I've seen you.
Yeah, I used to go to college up there in Plainfield when the college closed down just recently in April of this year. But I was there in the
Yeah.
70s. Yeah, you look familiar too. But so tell us, you were asking about some questions. Let's talk about it because this is the way I love to do things with people. Tell us, what do you feel? How do you feel about this whole concept of a new Earth that we're coming into? Even though we don't see it yet, we are going to get there.
I'm excited, but there's also apprehension.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering about, like, is everything going to be new? Like, they're preparing for us to come, so everything's going to be different and new. Or are we going to
Mm.
recognize this place when we get there?
We're going to recognize it because the space people are going to help us in a way that we've never been helped before. But one of the things I also, because both of us are human, I'm still here. I have a job. I work here. But at the same token, I'm an awakened consciousness, meaning I know my star family, my space family, so to speak. I work in space consciousness as well as my human consciousness. So even though I'm experiencing this life, good, bad, or indifferent, I also know that we are coming very close to what we call contact, and that's going to be for
Mm,
everybody. So you're going to have
I
it.
feel that
I'm going to
too.
experience it. Yeah, we're all going to experience it together. It's
I
not going
felt
to be
it today,
exclusive.
really.
You felt it
It
today?
just felt like everything shifted for me.
Yeah.
Oops.
And
Yeah.
when you felt, see, this, you're sensitive, and you're sensitive to the shifts, it's a good thing, right? You have the ability up where you are in Vermont to sense the shifts. You'll feel it in your body, your consciousness. It's not just a physical thing; it's a mental thing too, right?
Yeah. It's your whole
Yeah.
being.
Your whole being, yes, absolutely. And there are days when the energy level, excuse me, will shift, and it'll be kind of weird because it's happening so quickly and rapidly that it'll affect our whole mind and our whole body. Some days we'll feel like I'm ready to go to sleep because it's happening so quickly. Other days we get amped up with energy, and a lot of it not just has to do with our Earth; it has to do with our sun because the
That'd
energy
be
from the
weird.
sun is affecting our body. People go to the beach in the summer and they think, "Oh, I'm going to get a suntan." That's just a 3D level of consciousness. When the sun starts having these things happen where they're shooting energy to the earth, we can take advantage of that to elevate our frequencies in our body. Plant life takes it. Plant life is a living energy,
Just
and so
be open
therefore
to
it
it.
gets. You have to be open to it. Yeah. So when I looked at this image here, I said we're going to use this image tonight just to give people a concept of an idea. Things could be way different than they are right now, and they will be. I mean, we can't see it physically yet. We go out and
I
we
can
see the same
feel
road. You can feel it,
it. It'll
right?
be. I hope we'll have floating chairs.
Oh, that'd be kind of nice. Floating chairs. I would sit in one of those. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
It'd be so
You
bad
know?
being in the office.
Yeah. And and every part of the world, there's beautiful places. I used to live in like Vermont, Washington County. There's so much beauty to walk in the woods and go to a brook, or I'll see a little waterfall. All these things connect you with not only the earth but the star and the universe and the creator. And there are places where you go into a city, they don't have that same experience depending where they live, but all that's going to shift. It seems hard for living on a planet with billions of human beings that we're going to see the whole planet just, take off and shift, but it is going to shift. That's the way it's going. We're supposed to not stay where we are here,
We obviously don't belong here.
Well, we belong here, but we don't belong on an Earth that is being messed up the way it is right now, and that's going to all be cleaned up when we work with the space people. When they make contact, they're gonna ask us to help out. We live here, and they're going to come and help us, and we're going to do this together as a group.
Good, because we need help.
Yeah, we definitely need help. Well, you're a very beautiful person. I appreciate you being here and watching our show. We're on regularly here, and we do a thing on Saturday nights. I have a friend up in Vermont near the Canadian border. Her name is April, and we do a thing called Ashtar Command Night, and she's just a beautiful soul. So, yeah,
Okay.
you have any other things you want to ask or anything on your mind that you'd like to ask us?
No, it just kind of feels like we're in the Matrix lately. Because
Yeah.
the way things are shifting, for me, I
Yeah.
mean.
Oh, for you? Okay. Well, you can bust
I
that
don't know how
matrix
anybody
anytime.
else feels.
Yeah, you can bust the matrix though for yourself, Dawn. And that's what I always would title my
That's what
show
I'm
is my
working on.
title's like, just busting on it. Just say I'm going to bust the matrix this morning, and that's all you got to do. Those two things. I am going to bust the matrix. All done. No hard work. Just say, okay, you see something on TV that's in the matrix. Say I'm going to turn it off. By turning it off, you just busted it. So there you go.
Yep,
Hey, Dawn, I
100%.
want to thank you. Thank you so much for coming up here. It's been a pleasure,
Thank you
everybody.
for having me.
Up in beautiful Vermont, where I love Vermont, so I'm a little bit biased
It's
there,
very
but let me bring
beautiful.
it is. It
Hey,
is.
thank
The
you.
energy's good. Thank you, Dawn. And we're gonna bring her down. See, Dawn was our second. And like I said, Dawn is great energy. We appreciate you, Dawn. Thank you so much. And if you're coming here, welcome to the show. We're talking about the new Earth. And my chimes are going. I love the chimes outside. They sound so beautiful. And it's good to have you all with us here on Encounters. Welcome to the show. And when we talk about the new Earth, we talk about not just the way the cities are going to be, but we also talk about how everything's going to be, our oceans, our rivers, our lakes, all these things. Now, I know there's so many people that need to advance. So if you wish to come up and join me, thank you, Don. We love the chimes. Those chimes are so beautiful. I have a couple of chimes outside. And Half Pint, Ray and Mary with the Anunnaki, who are helping the planet. The Anunnaki, they have contact with. If you've heard about the Anunnaki, so they're working with them, and it's a beautiful thing. Welcome to the show. Please share a like, and we're at 36.100 right now. We'd like to get to over 100,000 before 1 o'clock in the morning. So welcome, everybody. Peggy, welcome. Shamama, welcome to the show. Don't be shy about asking questions about the new Earth on Encounters. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. Code Man, welcome. Debbie J. Lodge, welcome, Debbie. After contact, will there be life after death? So we're going to bring up Hank, and Hank can ask that question. Hank, come on up. You see what I do, folks, on Encounters? Unlike other things here, I will select people and bring them up on the show. You got to be over 18, no foul language, no drugs, no drinking on the show, no smoking, no kids on the show. What else? No cursing. I already said that. No politics, no religion. So after contact, there'll be life after death. I can answer that question. So really, there isn't a thing called death as it is presented on Earth. Basically, when we leave our body, at some point, we go into another physical body. What do I mean? So, for example, the space people who can live up to whatever, anywhere from 10,000 years to 50,000 years old, they don't die. They just go from their physical body and leave and go into a new body. So they leave one body, go into another body. So there's not really any such thing called death on the new Earth. In a sense, death is a word that exists here only because we created it. But in the new Earth, there won't be a thing called death. There'll be a thing called leaving your physical body when it's time and going into another space body. So you're never really kind of on Earth, as they say, die. You actually evolve and accelerate into another vibrational frequency. So all will be well, so to speak. And welcome here. I'm just looking at the question. Thanks, Hank, for your question. Hey, Mighty Milton. Welcome to the show, Mighty. Hey, server. Will there be the use of money? Little Miss Blaze. Little Miss Blaze, I'm going to bring you up here. I like the question. I mean, I like to have these interactions. So feel free to come up, Little Miss Blaze. There we go. You know, you folks, you never know if I'm going to bring you up on live here, but I do.
Hi.
Little Miss Blaze. How are you?
I'm not bad, Commander. How are you?
Well, not bad at all. Can I put you on camera?
No, sorry. Only because I have a birthmark on my face and I haven't got any camouflage makeup on it tonight. I'm just being honest.
You do. But that would be you'd be like in Hollywood on here. You can show the birthmark and everyone would be very happy and excited. Now, you can do it if you want, but you know, I have a little sense of humor. So tell us, Little Miss Blaze, what do you think about the New Earth? What do you think about the, you know, you're talking about money. Eventually, and there will eventually be a transfer to no money. I know we live on a planet where there is well, not lots of money, but everybody has something, and there are a lot of people that have nothing. So the question about money is an interesting question. I don't think we'll have it. We're going to have it for a very brief period to get people transferred over to a world where there is no actual physical money. The space people on their planets, they don't use money. There's no money.
Yeah, I've always kind of guessed that, if you know what I mean. But imagining that actually happening to us is a different thing, isn't it? But I can't wait, honestly. I'm aware there's a shift. Have been for a while. And bring it on. I can't wait. As long as it spreads love, health.
Yeah.
We don't need the wealth.
No, I don't. You know, I'll be happy to go to a non-monetary system on the New Earth where we just everything is created by thought. The one thing I learned many years ago from my good friend Ashtar Athena, that the space people can create food by thought. So if I want to have a ice cream cone, all I have to do is by thought create it, and it exists. You know,
wow.
That's where we're going. So when we get to the New Earth and when we shift our consciousness fully to an elevated frequency, as our space families are at an elevated frequency, you can create a pizza pie just by thought. You can create an apple juice drink just by thought. Now they on their own planets they have fruits and vegetables that are grown, but our thoughts will be able to create and manifest a reality in which we choose to do so. If we want to create our body into a Merkaba of a spaceship, we will be able to do it as a living consciousness. We'll be able to create a spaceship within our body. Well, not within the body, it will be an extension of our body. We'll create the physical reality of that spaceship, which is pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. I really can't wait in a lot of ways. And I think everybody else needs to wake up and look forward, really.
Yeah, I believe you. You're in England, correct?
Yeah, I am. Stockport, England.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff. Part of the new reality is places, their energy points, Stonehenge, all that whole area where the crop circles are. There are areas all over the world where there are encoded messages being sent by the space people, being deciphered by people that are involved in all those areas to help the Earth. Kathy, thank you so much for that. I appreciate the heart with the arrow. Thank you. But we have so many things to look forward to. If we, now I monitor everything on the planet because that's part of my mission, but I also know that this world is going to be changing. There are forces that prefer to have a system of control that they're not going to have anymore. So if you think about all the different governing systems on the Earth that are trying to control what people know on our planet, they will not have any control. When the space people come out of the oceans and when they come out of the mountains and when they come to the Earth from other planetary systems, the people that are what they consider powerful or think they have all the power with their money, those people won't be having any power. and the money will be worthless, which is really
That's
what's going to be. Yeah,
yeah, going to put us all back to equal then.
yeah.
Well, I
So they
welcome that.
think, yeah, they're living in a world where they think they're ultra important, and that the rest of the planet and the people on this world have to be subservient to them. But in truth, we don't have to be subservient to any of these people. We are waking up. We're waking up to a cosmic reality that is way different than the way they perceive the reality in their minds to be. Their reality is, I have gold, I have money, I own 10 islands in the Pacific, I have a big mansion. They think they've got to figure it out, but they're living in a 3D reality
That's right.
where they're limited in their consciousness, thinking their money and their wealth is what makes them elevated in frequency, and it doesn't do anything. It just makes them more material things, but their consciousness is not a galactic or cosmic Christed consciousness.
So I guess, Commander, in a way, that if we're going to live in a world where there is no ego, then everything's going to be better.
Right. And the ego, the word ego on earth, they're people, the ego comes from the power structures. Every person that wants power has a big ego. Every
Yeah.
person that wants to control someone has a big ego. Those that don't have a big ego are those that are here to not control anybody, that are here to help each other, to help the bees, to help the honeybees, or help the the mammals, or the dolphins, or the whales, or the seals, or whatever it is, or a flower to grow.
Yeah.
Those are the people without egos. Many of you here, I would say most of you, if I were to read energy, collectively have no ego in terms of wanting to have power and lust for the power and want to be the president or prime minister of a country. I don't think anybody here wants to do that. But I think what you do want is, you're tired of living on a planet that is the way it is right now, where the old energies have tried to destroy the earth. The new energies that are here, the indigo kids that are coming in, the new babies that are coming in, they're part of a brand new planet. They're part of a whole new earth structure that will revolve and evolve as we have contact. So we're going to see things, folks, out there on TikTok that you've never, ever seen before. And the question is, are you willing to go forward without being afraid of what the future of our planet is?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not afraid. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Good
at all.
thing.
Well, I'll drop down now, Commander, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
I'll let you down. You have a very calming voice. You're beautiful. And I appreciate your question about money.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
All right.
Night.
You're a blessing. We'll bring you down. And our friend in England. And so everything I'm talking about here, everything I'm saying, I'm not reading a prompter. I don't have a prompter screen. I don't have a book to look at to see what chapter the New Earth is on chapter 3 of page 187 or something. I don't do that here. When I speak, when you hear me vibrate my energy and speak, I'm speaking from truth. I'm speaking from understanding. I'm speaking from inner knowledge. Thank you so. I've never seen that before. Thank you. Thank you, Cleo, for the dizzy bird. Luckily, the dizzy bird did not make me dizzy, so that's good. Thank you, Cleo. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, I think, yeah, definitely. We want everyone to share their vision. M Lawyer 3, and want everyone to share their vision of the new earth. That's what tonight's about, having interactive discussions. And it's all beautiful. Everyone is a part of the tapestry of what's happening here. And welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. I talked to you before.
Yes, you have. Can I bring you on camera? Are you able to?
Yeah, hold on.
I just sent you the little thing here. You just have to save it.
There you go.
I think it'll pop up soon. Let's see here. Not yet. Let me try this again. It says I have to wait 43 seconds. As soon as it pops up, just save it. You also have the ability on your side to press the camera on there, and then it should go on there too. You're watching Encounters, and this is an image I'm using tonight to just give the people an idea of what a city might look like with mountains surrounding it on our new Earth, and how the planetary system would be. Let me try that again here on the camera. In 15 seconds left, we'll get our friend on here who's been on before. We should be able to do this in a minute. Let's see here. 1, 2, 4 seconds left. When I press it, just press save, and you'll be on camera. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
All right, now you can do it. Turn on your camera. There you go. How you doing, brother? Good to have you back with us.
Good.
And so this is a great discussion. What would you like to share in terms of the whole New Earth idea?
I had a vision of the new world, and it wasn't here. It was God's planet is what I seen, and suddenly I'm on top of. I felt like I was in a concert. It felt like there's so many people around me, but it was dead silent. It was like there's nobody talking. And I looked around and I seen we were on like this huge plateau. It was thousands of us though, and and everyone was focused outward. Like really looking. They weren't talking to each other, looking at one another, just really focusing on what they were looking at. So I couldn't see exactly. So I made my way like through everybody, and to get to the edge. And as I'm walking through, it was like everybody was like almost in a trance,
Mm.
dead silence. So it was kind of eerie. But as I get to the close to the edge, um, I see the new world. Like what I take is the new world. It was like just rolling hills of wildflowers as far as you could see. Some trees, but mainly the flowers, and everything looked so like glossed over, like it was like sprayed down, like
Oh,
brand
wow.
new. You know, and as I'm looking at that, I noticed I don't have the weight of the gravity that we have here pushing down.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that all of a sudden it's like I looked over the edge and I jumped off the edge and I landed all the way to the bottom. And I looked up and I leapt back up, got landed
Yeah.
right back up. And then as I'm looking around at everybody, still everybody's dead silent. And then I was like shown how like the new world operates without any cash or bartering system or anything like that. It's
Mm.
all about gifts that you're born with,
Yeah.
and that's what you'll do on the new world to help society keep functioning. Money is put here just to really divide us, as we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
thing that we.
Absolutely.
But that was it was really enlightening, and that's how it was shown to me that like there's no need for money. Just as everybody does their part, it'll all works. And everybody's equal. There's nobody, no rulers or
Right.
any bigger house or you
Yeah.
get to have what you want because it's all still available.
Yeah.
Just like here, God put everything here for us to use. Who
Right.
put the bound on everything? It, to me, the Anunnaki is the one that really changed society here for us. But
Yeah.
that's a
And the
story.
Anunnaki are my friends in Pennsylvania. They have contact with the Anunnaki, which are men and women that are way taller than us. They have families like we do, but they are taller.
Yep.
They in time became very spiritually involved with our planet and the universe. They changed just like anybody can change. The Anunnaki changed and became very loving, positive people because they learned from past experiences. And I think we as human beings, right? We're going through transformational change right now. So we're living on a planet where we lived in this monetary world, structures and control of people being leaders, queens, and kings. It's not going to be like that on the earth. There's no queens and kings. There's no prime minister or presidents, or there. It will not even need to be existing. There'll be councils of light which exist, but there's not going to be. It's nothing like what we have on Earth. It's way different.
It's like now I feel right now they're raising our frequency to live on the new world. That's what it's
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
That's it's not for here, but it's for our new home. So we can all live there comfortably. It's what
yeah.
I've sensed what it is.
I think you're right
That's
on the money too. Yeah,
all
yeah. And
biblical.
yes, and it's not even so much biblical as it is a reality of consciousness. Like you
Yeah,
have a conscious reality of understanding, so we don't have to. I mean, you can refer to anything you want, but you have a conscious. You're awake. You're an awakened soul. You're a Christed being of light, and you know that. And so
yeah,
am I, and so many other people here. We've come from being human beings going to school. We all went to school in different decades, but we all awoke into what I always talk about Christ consciousness, because if we are elevated to that frequency, our space people are elevated on a Christ conscious level, and that's the most beautiful level. And as we expand into that consciousness and that frequency, we see the earth as you described it, when you jumped off and everything, you explained what you're saying. You're being given information about what the new earth is going to be like, which is beautiful. And so when I hear these stories, I feel they're all true. I never knock a story down, because we're not here to knock the stories down. We're here to come together and create that synergy of collectiveness, and taking that puzzle called the earth reality and shifting it into what is going to be a new earth. So the earth we live on now, of course, we're going to be still on this earth, but we're not going to be living in an old earth reality. We're going into a new earth reality. I used to believe, like I said earlier, that we would have to go somewhere else to get there, because that's what I understood in the early days of the New Age community information. But it's way beyond that. We're not trying to get away from anything. We're here to heal the planet Mother Earth, and we're here to transfer her to a very beautiful, healthy place for all of us.
Or it's this earth is going to remain, and God's conscious is going to go to the new world, which I see it as, because
Right.
the sun right now is a binary star that's
Yeah.
orbiting. It's
Yeah.
being hidden by many entities here, but
Yeah.
I know for a fact, I have proof of it, that there's a
Yeah.
binary star that's orbiting the sun.
And you know what?
And
You're
it's
not the only one who said that, too, my friend. I had another person on a couple nights ago who knows. I know about the binary systems. There is a reality of the people in power with the lower vibrational ETs have tried to block the reality of what you're talking about out of our consciousness. All right, but they can't do that, because there are shows like mine that know about this stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are in control of the chemtrails. The chemtrails cover up the existence of the binary star.
Oh yeah, on purpose.
There's a
And
lens there.
not only the binary star, right? They're trying to cover up the thing when the space people of light come here. They use these things to prevent us from seeing the spaceships that are coming here now. They don't want us to see the galactic spaceships. They're here. A lot of the ships are cloaked on their own for reasons, but the people in power that are aware and are now afraid of us, seeing all of us, because we're waking up, they're afraid of us, because now we're not falling for the trap anymore that we have to, work in a factory and get home and have dinner with our friends or whatever, go to sleep, have a beer, and that's the end of the world. And then we get up in the morning and do the same thing. We're way beyond that. We now broken the matrix. You've broken the matrix. We all break the matrix, right? We're not going like zombies, walking around doing what they tell us to do anymore, right? We're coming together, brothers and sisters. We're talking and we're communicating, and it's a love fest in a way, because we're here to love each other, right? We're here to help each other.
There's more love than religion. It's about
That's
love.
right. Yeah, absolutely. And what's your first name, by the way? I keep trying to pronounce.
Remember me? I'm Mel.
Mel. I do remember you. I didn't remember the first name. So, Mel, I just want to thank you, man. You've been always great information sharing, and that's what the show's about. To bust the matrix, we have to really do it.
And it's the visions I've had are, very informative. And it gives you the peace that you don't understand, and I understand a lot of people. They won't believe what I say, but that's just part of the.
Well, that's because you're a space person too, Mel. You're a space person, so. Of course, not everyone's going to understand or believe it. And hey, look, that's okay. Does everybody believe what the commander says? Who cares? But the thing is, you have a consciousness. So, for example, you're Mel in the human body, but also there's you in stasis. Your space body exists in a spaceship, but you have a space consciousness that is enlightened about binary systems. You knew about that before you came to Earth. That was part of who you were. You're in this physical human form, and you're the Mel that you are in the human physical body, but you have a space consciousness that knows about binary systems. So you add a teaching experience by coming here. People say, what is a binary system? They'll ask questions. You are a specific person that can talk about that. Me, I might know about it, but because I'm dealing with all the galactic subjects of the UFO contact and everything, I go all over the place. But you can be very specific and you are like the cosmic book about the binary system. So when I talk about being like I told people for the last 3 years, I could write a book, but I don't need to because we each have a chapter. We are the book. We just have to look at the chapters within us, right? You're a book.
Yeah.
I'm a book. Everybody here is a book about something.
Well, yeah, I was shown like the all the like 'cause it began with the moons. I mean, I watched as they attached two moons to the moon, and I still see them to this day, but
Yeah,
nobody sees them. But
yeah,
I can put them in videos and photos, but
yeah.
I can physically just look at the moon and see them there.
You
They're
can see
black.
that.
They're easily detected in my eyes, but
Yeah.
that's what they started with. They put them there because they knew the binary star was coming.
Mhm.
Because
Did I ever
that
tell you
it,
this story, Mel, about many years ago? I should share this here. I was coming home from work in my town. It was nighttime. For about a whole week, I thought I was going. I thought I was seeing things. I was driving, and I was going, and as I was looking at the moon in front of me, I pulled over because I said, "This is ridiculous." I pulled over, looked at the moon. I saw two or three moons. I said, "What's going on? Why am I seeing three moons? I never see three moons." So what I was being shown, like there must have been like an opening or something in my consciousness. I soar beyond the physical one uh, intergalactic object, the space station, of which is we call a moon. It's really an intergalactic thing. I saw three moons, and they were beautiful. There was three of them. One was behind the other one, and they were almost like translucent. Matter of fact, they were kind of translucent. This happened for about a week, and I thought I was going crazy. And I would stop and say, I didn't,
that happened.
say again.
Remember what year that happened when you noticed that?
That was, I would say that was in, I would say that was in the early 2000s. Yeah. Yep. I hadn't seen it again since then, but if I was, for whatever reason, I was supposed to see that, I saw three moons that were translucent.
It's
Yeah.
what I found. The moon, um, using the leaves of the trees, believe it or not, videotaping through the leaves of the trees, really acts as an excellent filter for. I did that one night and it exposed an eye. There's in the center of the moon, this circle or square appears, and you see an actual human eye like looking out the center
Yeah.
of the moon. You know,
Interesting, man.
it's
So, you're going to be here to help. When the new Earth is coming, we're all here. Mel, you, me, everybody. We're here. We're going to help the space people because they're not going to do all the work for us. I know that for a fact. They tell me,
I can show
we're
you
going to have to do some of it.
about all this. I can show you the moons. I can show you the binary sun.
Yeah,
Even looking out, it's very interesting stuff that
yeah.
I can't believe that I captured, but I captured so much. It's unbelievable. It's
Well, you're
from
supposed to. Your brain will tell you it's unbelievable, but as you know, you're a human person named Mel. Like I said before, you also came as a starseed to this physical body that you're in, and you are a space being too. So you would have that knowledge.
yeah. It's like I just seen they talking about how the sun doesn't give off heat, and I had an astral travel experience where it was a vision, but I'll travel off out of the Milky Way for say. And when I went past the sun, I looked over at it, and it was an aqua greenish color. It looked very calming.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I thought to myself, that's not what I ever envisioned that it's going to look like. And I did notice there was no heat from it. It was like, you know, just an object there. But it was
Yeah,
very, I mean, there was no explosions and all that stuff happening. It was just a very calming, very like an ocean.
like an ocean.
Like,
Yeah. See,
yeah,
and this is why, I like having these conversations with my friends like you because you have an enlightened understanding of things that you're presenting something that other people might not be able to understand, well, never heard of. My audience will get it and they'll listen, they'll absorb your information and they'll say, "Wow, I didn't know what Mel's sharing. I didn't know about the binary thing. These things have been here. We just haven't been taught that." Never, and who's gonna teach us in school growing up, right, Mel? In
yeah,
traditional schools about binary star systems, about all this stuff, all that stuff, and to be honest, most of those teachers were never taught that stuff either. They went to schools and universities. They were taught just things are the way they are. Don't
Right.
don't don't
Just know
bust the
that.
matrix. Just go with it.
And I myself, I just, looked at everything with a new eye, and I don't take anybody's word. I just tried to figure it out myself and see if I could find a different
Yeah,
answer. There's a lot of
yeah.
different answers out there,
Yeah,
that
and you also are the book. Like I said, I don't go to websites to talk about what I talk about. All the information I have is from my space consciousness. So
me
why should
too.
I go and read somebody's website? Yeah, same thing with you. So that's that thing is we're supposed to wake up, and all the information's inside us. When we came to Earth, we just have to open our space conscious part of us up, and we can share that information like you're doing right now. So that's the thing, right?
Yeah, and that's, that astro travel experience I had. It took me out of the Milky Way, and I traveled in like black space, um, for a good 10 minutes, right? And then I finally come up to this blue nebula. As I get closer, I see this. It's a giant blue nebula, but it's kind of in a circular shape. But in the center, there was two parallel lightning bolts that look.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way to describe them. Running parallel, and they were like tipped like to like 11 o'clock. They weren't straight up and
Yeah.
down. But once I could see that in the whole giant nebula, that's when I slowed down, and then I just floated there. And as I'm observing this giant nebula, so I can only guess that's maybe from where I came from. Because the
It
vision
sounds
began
about right.
in Mary, and
Yeah, yeah.
very intense.
I'm kind of envisioning the nebula when you were. I see this vision in my as I'm looking at you. I'm seeing also a quick vision of the nebula, and it looks really beautiful.
It was really beautiful, and it was very calming. Even though it was nerving when I was going through, because once I went out of the Milky Way into like the darkness, it felt like, and it was kind of nerving because it even felt like colder. It was very
Yeah,
it
different.
was spooky. For
Yeah.
sure. But
Hey Mel, I want to thank you, man, for coming up here. It's always a pleasure. It's been a long time since our last great
yeah,
conversation. So feel free to share any information with us. You're a brother on here, and you're always welcome on the show. So everybody, Mel, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And we're going to bring him down. A beautiful soul, a space person indeed. And you're watching Encounters. This is our show about the new Earth. And I love this discussion we're having, people freely sharing their perceptions of the new Earth, their reality of the new planet. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to be coming together, right? And come in complete love and understanding as we transform in our consciousness. Our consciousness transforms. Mother Earth is transforming her consciousness, and we're all transforming. The animals are transforming their consciousness. The birds, the bees that give us honey, they're transforming their consciousness. Thank you, Les. We appreciate that. Let's see. And we want to get to 100,000. We're at 62.6. If you're not used to you see the little hearts here, folks. Also, do me a favor. If you're not following me, please press the follow button. It's a red button on my bio. Press follow, and also press like on my bio too. Oh, absolutely, Mel. I appreciate it, man. Your vision is really cool. I appreciate that. You know. And hey, Lavelle, good to see everybody come. Janice, welcome. Tammy Rivera, welcome. New people, all the new people out there that are going by my TikTok, stop. You must stop. You can't keep scanning TikTok. Stop. If you're on TikTok scanning and you see me, stop. I wonder if they see me. Stop. Come into our show. Can I hypnotize these people that are scanning TikTok and watching people dancing in some country on a sidewalk or whatever? Get them to come in here. Let me hypnotize the TikTok world to come in here now. Hey Donna, good to see you. I probably could do that. And I am has been on the show before, and I am is in Germany, a friend of mine over in Germany, and all the
Yeah.
beautiful people. Hey, beautiful soul, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm fine. I see you online. Just wake up. So, what is about you? You are fine too?
Yes, yes, we're talking about the new Earth tonight.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about New Earth. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yes, and here's just an image, just so you can see. Thomas. This is just an image I'm using of what the Earth reality would be of, let's say, an advanced city on our planet. Unlike what we live into now, everything's going to be different, everything's going to be shifting. All life forms on our planet are consciousness, so everything is going to be coming into a new reality. And that's before, and when we get the contact, the space people, our space families and brothers and sisters from other planets will expect us to participate and not watch them clean up our planet. We're going to be participating too. We're going to also be involved in the beautiful part of that when it happens.
Of course. So, but at first, we must go to very, very rough times. So the Earth is in trouble. But yeah, of course, maybe after we have a lot of stuff here on Earth, including aliens, they walk around us, official, and let's hope. And I think technology also will rise. But at first, the Earth is in very big trouble. Because I think, because the other planets are here, and the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the heating up. So Earth is really in big trouble now. But yeah, let's hope for the future. That's one time we will see what you see here on your picture, of course.
Yeah, and we will. It's what we're going through now is called a major Earth chain shift, and so I knew some of the top people in Earth changes years ago that had an IM map that showed the Earth changes. This is back in the 90s. I met some really key people in that focused on that area. But we actually, if we look at the Earth now, and in the years I've been alive since the 60s, and seen all these different decades, I can say that the Earth is shifting. What we're seeing is the suffering and things that are going on. These are realities that exist right now, but we are going to actually see those things end because we are now waking up as a society. Now, again, we don't have billions of people yet waking up in our planet. We have billions of people, but we do have a future that's going to look really beautiful. When the contact happens in the next within the next year with the space people, unless things shift and they change the year, we will start seeing. That's why you're seeing all these spaceships and orbs now. They're preparing us for direct contact. They want people to wake up. They want us to get out of the reality of that we're going to be living in a lot of stuff for a while. We are the ones who are going to shift that stuff and make things different. You, me, and millions of other people that are waking up are going to be the ones that are going to be transforming and, of course, changing the reality of our planet. We have the power to do that. We just never used it because we've been subservient in every decade to people controlling us, and that's not going to happen anymore. There won't be any like structures the way they are now where you have a president, a queen, a king. All that stuff will be irrelevant when the contact happens.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
need really to wake up. The ego is the problem. The society is the problem. There are many problems.
Yeah.
But look how we destroy ourselves and the planet. And yeah, that's very bad thinking. So we must change.
Right. So we can change it by reversing the thinking in ourselves. So we can see all the things visually, whether you're in Europe or in the United States. We can see how life, animals, people have been suffering, but we also have the ability to shed light. So when I talk in my space consciousness, I say, okay, we have people that are sleeping on a sidewalk in New York City, but we also have the ability to see that we can make a difference in our planet. And we can, if we just look at what we see as being the suffering of people that have controlled our world for so many years, we have the ability to switch on and switch that light on. And we all have the ability to say, okay, I see that homeless person on the street. What do? Either I can look at that person and go by them, or I can stop and get them a sandwich. Now, if I stop and say they're suffering, I can go by and say, oh, they're still suffering. Or I can stop and help them not suffer by giving them some food. So there is options, and there are many doors that can be open, right?
Yes, of course. So if you're doing this kind of, how can I tell this in English very easy? So if you're doing this, you're not doing this for this man, you're doing this also for you, because you rise your consciousness in this moment if you're doing hard, lovely things. So yes,
Yeah.
that's the way. So this is how the universe works. So yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely,
absolutely.
brother. And good morning over there in Germany.
Yeah, thank you.
It's now, I think it's 5:24 a.m. in the morning there, correct?
No, 7:30.
7:30. I'm so off. I think in England, it's
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's in England it's different. I think they're
1 hour
at 5
between.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one
An hour
hour
between.
between England and Germany, of course. Yes.
So you're getting ready for breakfast and the sun coming up and all that jazz.
Yeah, of course. But breakfast maybe later. But yeah, I just get on the phone a little bit, and yeah, it's raining today, so today is not a good day. But we will see. But I have another question. So I asked you, I sent you a message, but I think you have so many messages.
I
So
do.
yeah, so you don't read my. So I will ask you here on the show. So maybe we can try to make a live and show people the pictures, what's happening above our heads. So people maybe don't understand why the clouds are looking like this and why is the weather like this. So of course I have the pictures and time lapse where you can identify the planets, and then you can maybe enjoy the show, what's going on above our sky more, because people always think, wow, the chemtrail side, oh wow, all is man-made and all this stuff, but no, that's not true. This is asteroid trials, a lot of them, and people don't understand really what's happening. And so I thought, yeah, okay, let's maybe do a show and you can show some pictures. But at first, man, you must watch my site.
Yeah. No, I got you. We'll definitely do it. You're right about all the messages. I am getting deluged with a lot of email and messages. I am slowly, believe it or not, trying to catch up in my daily life. And between everything else and family, I am trying to get there. All right, man. We'll definitely have to at some point get that together.
Okay, so look it up. But thank you for bringing me up, and I wish you all
Always.
a great evening and enjoy the show. And yeah, okay. So thank you again for bringing me up, and see you. Bye bye.
All right, Thomas, and keep on smiling. That's a good thing.
Always, baby, always. It's a consciousness. It has a lot of to do with alignment and yoga and all this stuff. So yeah. But thank you, man.
Absolutely. All right, brother.
I wish you the
I
best.
appreciate you. You too, as well. I'm glad you're here again.
Thank
Bring
you.
Thomas down. And let's see what we got in queue. You're watching Encounters. We're talking about the New Earth. And One Man Gang requested to come up here. Let's see. One Man Gang, I'm going to bring up on a show here. And let's see. From Germany to, let's see where. One Man Gang's been on the show before as a recent guest. Good evening. How you doing?
Hey, Commander, it's me, Julian.
Hey, Julian. I am going to get you back on. I couldn't find you to switch it back and unblock it. So I tried doing the other. I couldn't locate the name. But
yeah. Thanks.
Julian's
yeah,
a friend of the show.
My other account, it's Julian Hayes 333. But yeah, that's not important right now, Commander. But good evening, Commander. How are you today?
We're doing good. I was guided to talk about on Encounters the New Earth, and because we're now getting into the heart of the year, as we're getting closer to 2026, it seems like it's far away, but it really isn't. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen at the end of the year too with our planet.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see like what will unfold, the rest of this year, 2025. I mean, time's been flying by, and yeah, it's so interesting that you mentioned the new Earth that's coming now, because so many strange things just been happening with the planet, with the sun and the moon. Like the other night when you had brought me up on live, and remember I was telling you how the sun here in New Jersey was looking like really hazy and so weird, like it had been replaced with a LED or sun or something. So yeah, that the last guest, when you guys were talking, or the guest before last, you guys were talking about the moon, right? Because I just find the moon fascinating. Yeah, with Mel. Okay, yeah, with Mel. So I find the moon so fascinating, right? So maybe, I don't know, maybe like a month ago or 2 months ago, I had went outside, here in front of my house, where a lot of things happen, and it was a full moon, right? So I saw the moon, and it was kind of weird. The moon looked like it was like glitching or morphing, right? And I was like, "Oh,
Huh.
that's so weird." So like, get morphing bigger and smaller. So I went and got my other cell phone to take a video, and I zoomed all the way in on the moon, and I was full 10 times zoom. And the moon, after I had it all the way 10 times zoom, the moon just started glitching, going like this, bigger, smaller, morphing,
Oh
bigger. So
wow.
it was so weird, yeah, what the moon was doing. So yeah, I got a video of it and posted on my other account. But yeah,
Oh
Commander,
good.
what do you think about the moon?
Well, I've always talked about the moon on the show here on Encounters as being an intergalactic structure that was put there millions upon millions of years ago, and it is. The people, astronomers, who didn't to focus on the moon solely to take video. There have been some astronomers, I've seen the YouTube videos where there are spaceships leaving the moon, like an armada of 6 or 7 ships. Now, where are they coming out of? They're coming out of the inside of the moon. Why? Because the inside of the moon can open up at certain areas and ships can go in and go out of the moon because it's an artificial structure. It's not like a solid rock, as people would think it is. It's totally not. Other planets have real moons, have more than one moon. We're the only planet that physically shows one moon because if that moon wasn't there, there was originally millions and billions of years ago, there was actually 2 moons that were real moons. Something happened to those moons. So they brought a artificial moon structure, an intergalactic structure, which is our moon, which is a hollow moon. So when I say it's a hollow moon, there is no hardcore rock. They might put some hardcore rock on the surface to make it look like it's been hit by all these different things, but it's really purposely an intergalactic space station.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
that's what it is.
fascinating. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I could just talk about the moon all day and watch videos.
And
Yeah.
someone's asking about the gravitational pull, so I can answer that question. The intergalactic space station of that this moon is has the ability to control gravitational pull. So they're very aware when they put that thing there. They don't want people getting any ideas that it's an artificial structure. So they're using energy from that spaceship, the moon, that is an artificial stationary structure. It creates that ability to have gravitational pull by the people that brought that particular object towards the Earth. So if you're wondering why, there's a great question. Why we have gravitational pull and waves is because that intergalactic space station, which is the moon, is doing that on purpose, and they have it set up so it can affect our Earth and affect the gravitation of making these waves happen. So we think it's natural, when in fact it's not natural at all. It's all artificial.
So yeah, Commander, with this whole new Earth thing happening, right? Do you think maybe this year or when like the full transition happens, do you think there will be like more exploration like beyond the ice wall and like here on flat Earth? Like, do you think maybe
Well, let me get into that. So I want to bust the
yeah.
matrix about all these people. When I first got on TikTok, people think the Earth is flat. Because I come from off planet and I'm a space conscious person, I come from my space family, which my father gave me the ability to do things. My space father will tell you, if he was physically on my show, that all the planetary systems beyond Earth are circular. There's no flat planets. We've been ingrained that the alternative theories are based on human beings in a 3D consciousness, providing that theory on the internet. But the truth is that all planetary systems are circular. There's no flat Earth, there's no flat Mars, there's no flat Jupiter, there's no flat Saturn. All those planetary systems are as they are all around. In those planets, you can be walking on a flat surface on the planet, but the planet itself is round. Whatever planet you go to, when you visit my planet, Mars, or if you visit another planet, where the Arcturians come from or whatever, all planets, and I know the flat Earth people can argue till they run out of breath. I don't argue with them because I come from off planet, and my planetary family will tell you to Earth people that all planets are circular. Every planet that has been created by the Creator in every single universe, every single galaxy, solar system, parallel reality is all circular. But I know people have a belief system, but a belief system is only that, a belief system. A reality is different than a belief system. So the belief systems will conflict with each other because I believe this, I don't believe this. So you get into beliefs, that doesn't mean the belief is actually reality. But the reality is when you come from a planet and you're in a physical human body and you have full consciousness like I do, I can teach people that every planetary system is round. Every system, every galaxy, every solar system, every planet that exists is circular. Maybe some are oval, but there's not one planet out there in the multiverse that is flat. Just so you know.
Okay, yeah, I've been dying to ask you about that whole. I've
Yes,
been
I know.
okay, yeah, I've been a Glober my whole life, and I was just kind of diving in down the rabbit hole a little
I'm
bit of the
glad you
flat
did
Earth.
because you gave me the ability to share with people as a space person, even though I'm human here, I'm a space person, that everything is circular. Every single, I've had people who are really actually into that flat thing. I wish I can get them all in a room, have them close their eyes for a minute, and in 2 seconds, I'd have their consciousness elevated to realize that nothing is flat except maybe a sidewalk.
Okay, got you. So, Commander, let me ask you now that I have you here also. So, do you think now with this new Earth happening, right? Do you think that the inhabitants of the inner Earth, Hollow Earth, Agartha, do you think they will ever come and intertwine with us human beings here on the outer Earth, or I don't
Yes.
know.
So I have a lot of knowledge about this, and because we're doing this show, I'm going to share my knowledge from as a space person. Well, from my space, I'm going to still be my talk show host self. It's kind of a weird thing, but I'm going to share the information. So the people that live within the Earth, everybody, they've always watched us from where they are. They can monitor the surface world from the inner Earth. The Agartha network, the space people that live in the inner cities in our inner planetary system, the space advanced civilizations in Antarctica that exist and coincide in existence at what you call a warmer part of the atmosphere. There's a whole thing here I've got to share. They're all. I have so much information on your question. Let me just give it to it. I'll start with one area of my knowledge. So the people that live in the inner earth, they will come to the surface. The people that live in the city of Telos and Mount Shasta, there's a silver fleet, they call it. The silver fleet, they will come out in these spaceships to come to the surface world. The ships that are coming out of the ocean are coming from the space cities in all parts of the world and off the coast of Florida. There is in the deepest part of the ocean there is a space city. It's been there for millions upon millions of years. They will come up based on your question. So all the inner earth advanced civilizations will make contact with all of us on the surface world gradually as we have direct contact in 2026.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for answering that. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And, and in regards like to these inner cities that you're mentioning in Hollow Earth, like especially now that all these new alien cities that are, being discovered in the oceans now, like was a real Atlantis that still exists to this day? Or
Yes, so I'll speak on that. The beautiful thing with me is I don't have to read websites for information. Say, give me a second, Julian. I'm going to go to my iPad and get you the information. I have been downloaded the information for years. I have the ability to answer questions without going to something else to do it. Some things, yes. Most things I speak just directly. I don't have a teleprompter reading some story that somebody gave me. I don't do that. So on basing your question, let me see here. I'm seeing images. Can you rephrase the question? I'm seeing an image here in my consciousness right now.
Okay, so yeah, basically is the lost sunken city of Atlantis, is it mer people that are the inhabitants, or are they intermingled with alien extraterrestrials, non-human intelligence and mer people? And has this city been evolving all these years? Has
Yes.
it been there for
Okay.
millions a year, or hundreds of thousands, or
Yes. I can answer your question. I'm actually going to answer your question. I'm going to answer it in my space consciousness. Take me 2 seconds.
understood? Okay, thanks.
Atlantis still exists as it is. The people that are trying to find Atlantis, the scientists, the archaeologists, they're not going to find it as they think they're going to find it. Atlantis has elevated to a different frequency. That's why they can't find it. Atlantis is alive and well. Atlantis went through some major shifts. That's why people say, what happened to Atlantis? There were scientists in Atlantis that misused their power and caused a problem. After that happened and took time, Atlantis, those that wanted to live in harmonious relationship with the Creator, got back to that alignment of frequency. So Atlantis is alive and well. It's in a slightly different vibration. That's why when people try to find Atlantis, they never really will, because they might find remnants of Atlantis from this particular vibration, but Atlantis, folks, is a living, vibrant civilization that is in the ocean, that is highly, highly protected, and also in a different, slightly vibrational pattern. That also goes for Lemuria on the Pacific Ocean. Lemuria also went through situations. The Lemurian population is alive and well. There are Lemurians that live in the city of Telos and Mount Shasta. They've been living there for millions upon millions upon millions of years in Mount Shasta. Hey, Roxy, good to see you, brother. Roxy Diamond. And just to let people know, we're talking about the New Earth, and I'm sharing information with you right now. The land of Mu, if you heard the land of Mu, and all these different things. Oh, yeah. We used to be taught on Earth about mythology, that Atlantis was something that was part of mythology. Lemuria, part of mythology. Land of Mu, part of mythology. The Incas, a part of mythology. What happened to the Inca civilization in Peru? What happened to all these civilizations? The advanced civilizations that existed, what is now called Egypt. Where'd they go? What happened to them? Everything evolved into a higher frequency. So all these things, Julian, are actually existing, but in a higher frequency.
Okay,
Vibrational
Commander, it's
pattern.
so funny. Yeah, excuse me to interrupt you, but it's so funny that you mentioned the Incas right now. They're in Peru because I was watching about this Stargate that's by Lake Titicaca, and I think it's called like Amaru Uru, right? And how you mentioned, how they just disappeared, the Incas and certain tribes, and so by the Lake Titicaca, there's this door in the stone, right? And this guy, I'm sure you probably heard of this story. He went up to this door, this Stargate, and this old shaman, old Peruvian, Incan ancestor, Incan ancestor. He basically told this guy how to say three tones, three frequencies with his voice, and with these three frequencies, you can activate this Stargate, and it'll take you to another
Yeah,
dimension or to another planet. Have you heard about
yeah.
this guy?
Not specifically, but that's correct. Certain tones will activate. It'll be like a remote control switch. When you have a ceiling lamp that runs by your remote, and the energy goes to the remote, and it goes to the lamp, the ceiling lamp or light, and it turns it on, right? So you're activating a Stargate by knowing a certain frequency of tone that will activate the Stargate, and you'll go through it. Now, that if you're going through it, you better make sure where you're going, because you might be going to a whole nother universe or another planet. So you better figure out where that Stargate's going, hopefully to another Stargate. And then if you want to come home, you better figure out, how do I get back home to Earth?
Yeah,
You want to
right.
figure that out before you go through that Stargate.
Before you go and start singing tones to this
Right.
Stargate, you better make sure.
Okay. But you come to another planet. It's beautiful. People are beautiful. But now you're homesick. You want to come back to Earth. They might be able to tell you how to do it, but you need to know where you're going if you're going through a Stargate. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
All right,
cool.
Julian, my friend.
All right, my friend. Love you, Commander. Thanks for
Love
bringing
you
me
too.
up. And
Yeah,
yeah, have a good
absolutely.
night. Good night, everybody, too. In the comments, love you guys.
We're at 87.1. We need to get to 100,000. I need everybody on my side of the screen to tap. We have 293 people. Please tap, follow, like. I'm going to bring Julian down.
Okay.
I'm going to bring Dallas up. Dallas had a question. Let's go to Dallas. Where's Dallas? Dallas should be here somewhere. We will get Dallas up here. Dallas, come into the guest option. You'll see the little guest option. Give me a moment, folks. I ran out of apple cider. I'm not going to get a full glass. You're watching Encounters. Hey, the Enlightened One, good to see you, brother. Here on Encounters, we can get a little bit more apple cider. Apple cider is a part of the show. So give me a minute. We're going to get a little more apple cider. And welcome to the Encounters. You can look at what is the idea of what a New Earth city would look like on our planet. I've used this background. You'll see the full picture for a minute. I'll be right back and we'll take your questions, bring you up here. And again, anything regarding the New Earth, we're happy to think about the apple cider. Yeah. No, I'm not a vegetarian, morning girl. But I did live in a dorm back in my days in Vermont that were people that were vegetarian. We tried to eat more healthier. There were people that were half vegetarian. The other half were still eat vegetables, but they weren't that. Dancing Cloud, good to see you. Everyone else, we're going to be right back, I promise. I'm just going to get a glass of apple cider. Please share, like, and follow the show here. We appreciate you being here and participating. That's what I believe in. I believe in interactive participation. Kelly says, I crave apple cider every night now. That's a good thing, Kelly, that you crave the apple cider. Hey, hi from Sweden. And we want people from all over the world to give their perceptions that we're talking about the New Earth. So if you're in Sweden, if you're in Africa, and you want to tell us what your vision is of the new planet Earth, the new Earth as we talk about it. Dennis says, what do you think about the object in the Baltic Sea? Dennis, we can bring you up and we can talk about that too. Jenna, hello, good to see you. You live around apple orchards. That's a good thing. I'll be right back. And we have apple orchards here. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show, the #1 talk show here for 3 years on TikTok. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Like I said, we're not doing a full glass right now. Alrighty, and welcome to the show. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Everybody out there around the planet, good to have you with us here and wherever you may be. Thank you. We got to 100,000 likes. Please follow me on my bio. Go to, hey, Jenna, thank you. Go to my bio. Please follow and please press my like button. We want to get up to 1 million likes. We're at 83,000. We want to get up to 1 million. We can do it this year, I'm sure. We want to get to 100,000 followers on the follow. No, was it? No, it was not 100,000. Yeah, 100,000 followers. So we're getting there. We're getting there naturally, the good way. Hey, David, good to see you, brother. Thank you for following. If you're not following me, press the follow button. We appreciate that so much. You really help. By doing that, you help get us out there to the whole world. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the great people that come in here. So we appreciate you all. Hey, GR, good to see you. Thank you, Christine, for the heart. Thank you so much. And who has a question? I'm going to bring people up with their questions here. I'm just looking at the comments. Kate, welcome, Kate. Just moving my camera a little bit here. Oh, I will. I'm going to bring you up, Jen. That's a great question. Jen, come on up. I'm very familiar with the trumpet sounds. I will talk about what that means. See Jenner, if we get Jenner up here on audio. Jen, press the. I think you can get up here. I'm going to try to do that. If you can't get up here, I'll still answer your question. So people have heard questions about the trumpet sounds that have been happening for a number of years around the world. These trumpet sounds sounds like there's trumpets in the atmosphere just playing music. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Those trumpet sounds are coming. Basically, my understanding through meditation is I believe the trumpet sounds that you're hearing around the planet now are the energy frequencies that are higher vibrational energy frequencies that are creating sort of a musical sound. As we get closer to contact, we're hearing a lot of that. Sometimes people say it sounds like metal touching metal. Other times it sounds like trumpets that are like playing music in space. It's really interesting. You can hear them. One year, my wife and I, we heard them a number of years ago. We heard the trumpet sounds here in Connecticut where we are. But they are coming back. There's a lot of people that are documenting the sound. Yeah. It could be from the inner earth, Jan. It could be. And also beyond the inner earth. Well, we're getting close to about 1 a.m. Kathy says, I've heard them a couple of times. I want to bring people up that have heard the trumpet sounds. I'm going to bring up Kathy. If you've heard the trumpet sounds, and I've been definitely quietly watching this stuff on YouTube, people recording the sounds. It won't let you on. That's kind of weird. Well, Jen, thanks for the question anyway. Yvette says, why am I seeing so many lights in the sky? I think because we're getting close to contact and the veil has been lifted, everybody. There's no veil, really. We used to always call it a veil around our planet. There's this veil where we couldn't see the spaceships. Now the veil has basically disappeared. There's no veil. The spaceships are appearing all over the place. That's why. They're supposed to appear. You're going to see a lot more ships. Eventually, you're going to see really big ships. Now, let me get close to the screen and say this. Eventually, you're going to see really big ships. Really big. Okay? You will. You'll see them. They're already here. So it's just like as I get closer with my face, if I was not that close, I'd be disappearing. I'd become small. If I get my face, scientifically speaking, closer, you can see my face, right? If I take my glasses off, you can see me even more clearly. As I go closer, it's very obvious you can see me in the whole screen. So that the reason why you're seeing as a scientific understanding or what have you, the reason why you're able to see my face is because I got close enough so you can visualize it. If I go backwards, now I'm at a level where you saw me the way I was before, like this. Okay. Does those mean something is going to happen? They've been going on for years. The trumpets, ever since you've had internet and YouTube, people have documented and recording these sounds. Some of it sounds really scratchy, like someone scratching metal. In many cases, I've listened to ones that are beautiful. They have like trumpet sounds. They go vroom. So that if you listen to them, go on YouTube, trumpet sounds in the sky. You probably can find plenty of things to listen to regarding that. Let's see here. Oops. Well, we're getting close to that 1 o'clock hour. Sunjoy, good to have you with us, everybody. Jeannie, Grace 71421. Uh, yeah, so everyone has a different perception of those trumpets, and everyone, it's great to see people talking about that. We don't talk about them very much. Yeah, some do call it skyquakes, but I do believe that the trumpet sounds, there's something about that that's very, very cosmically oriented. If you hear the trumpet ones, they're very beautiful, you know? What do I think about cattle mutilations? I think growing up in the 60s and 70s, they were doing that a lot. I think the green beans and our government might have been involved in that with the negative ETs. But I don't hear stories about that anymore. I don't hear stories about that anymore. So I think that's pretty much stopped. I think it was very prevalent in the last 30 years. I think it was a very big deal. I think they're not allowed to do it. I think that the ones that were doing it are being stopped. It could be. That'd be funny there, Enlightened, if if the trumpet sounds were spaceship horns. Well, we are getting about 5 minutes away from 1 a.m. in the morning. I want to take the time to thank all my guests for being on here, all your great questions. And I have somebody coming up here who wants to come up. And I'm going to bring up, that person decided not to come up. Let me tell you, it's good to come up here if you have a question. You might have pressed it. It flies by so quickly. I saw someone that came on the queue. Maybe you weren't meaning to come on there. Did somebody want to come up? Do not be nervous. Come on up if you wish to come up and speak about the new earth. And line one says, some are from the ships cause I had seen them fly away after the sound. Yeah, some of the ships might be causing those vibrational sounds like what I call a trumpet. All right, well, I want to thank you all for being here. Please share and let people know we're here. My name is CmdrAleon. I'm host of Encounters. And if you're new here, please follow. Everybody who's not following me, please do it. Teresa, thank you for being here. Everybody out, I hope you learned a few things tonight. And I know my energy level is good. I just am getting now kind of sleepy. So everybody take care. I love you all. This has been Encounters. We'll see you tomorrow night with another big show. Saturday night is Ashtar Command night, and we'll see you. But we're on here at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. Take care, everybody.